This is one of the biggest downfalls we've seen in the NBA lately. Ja Morant went from being celebrated as the league's next big star to a warning sign of the pitfalls that come with fame. His narrative has shifted from amazing dunks and game-winning shots to a tale of lost chances and bad decisions, leaving his team in disarray. It's not just about a player facing maturity issues, it's the disintegration of a brand. This is the saga of how Ja Morant, who was once adored, has turned into a total train wreck. The hype was real. Let's take a trip back to the 2019 NBA Draft, a pivotal moment that reshaped the Memphis Grizzlies and brought fresh excitement to the league. By the time Ja Morant was selected as the number 2 pick, he had already made a name for himself after an incredible sophomore season at Murray State. He wasn't just a feel-good story from a smaller school, he was a true sensation. With an average of 24.5 points and over 10 assists per game, Ja caught the attention of scouts with his unique combination of speed and court vision that screamed superstar potential. His college highlights were like a highlight reel filled with jaw-dropping layups, no-look passes, and thunderous dunks that made you hit rewind just to believe your eyes. Memphis recognized him as a potential franchise player, a point guard who could lead with style and intensity. The buzz surrounding him wasn't just hype, it was based on real talent. He had lightning-quick first steps, incredible hops, and that rare fearless attitude that allowed him to dominate in clutch moments. Ja wasn't just another flashy player, he was efficient, calm under pressure, and played with the confidence of a seasoned pro. The NBA hadn't seen a talent like him since the days of prime Derrick Rose, and fans were eager to see what he would accomplish next.
That kid wants to play, he wants the ball. The tournament's 2 leading scorers, and Morant hammers it home! It's a jaw jam!
In his first season, Ja put up impressive numbers with an average of 17.8 points and 7.3 assists. He wasn't merely good, he was a game changer. His performance earned him the Rookie of the Year title, making him the key player Memphis had been longing for since the end of the grit and grind era. By his third season, Morant had really stepped up his game, averaging 27.4 points, earning an All-Star selection, and landing a spot on the All-NBA second team. Under Morant's leadership, Memphis secured the second-best record in the Western Conference.
Murray 1 of 2.
The bench still stands.
Adams going long. Morant! Ja Morant!
He wasn't just playing basketball, he was building a brand. Nike signed him up, Powerade got involved, and Morant's jerseys were selling like hotcakes. For a while he seemed invincible. A future MVP, a playoff threat on the rise, and the Grizzlies, they were the fresh force in the West. But that didn't last long. The beginning of the end. So what happened? What went wrong? It didn't happen overnight. It rarely does. Initially it was just minor stuff. Talk about Ja's attitude, some excessive flaunting, and a couple of spats on social media. But the real game changer, that notorious quote, "I'm fine in the West."
Morant in transition. Oh, Ja Morant!
Who do you look at around the league as you're studying and say, we're going to have to run through them?
Celtics.
That one moment changed everything. It made Ja look more arrogant than self-assured, almost too full of himself. Suddenly every little mistake was under a microscope. It all started with those Instagram live videos. In one, he was caught showing off a gun at a strip club. Just a few months later he repeated the same behavior, even while he was suspended.
Circulated on Saturday night, it shows Morant with what appears to be a handgun while he's riding in a friend's car. Yesterday, the Grizzlies said they were aware of the video and suspended Morant from all team activities pending league review. In March, Morant was suspended for 8 games.
The league responded with a 25-game suspension. Nike pulled back. Powerade dropped him. And for a player once marketed as the next big thing, it was a brutal fall from grace. But even worse than the suspension, Ja didn't seem to learn. On-court inconsistency and injuries. Morant's issues weren't just off the court. They bled into his on-court performance in ways that became impossible to ignore. This wasn't just a star being moody or needing time off. His actual presence, his availability, started vanishing before our eyes. For a franchise that built its entire identity around him, that's a nightmare scenario. Over the course of just 3 seasons, Morant played in less than half of the Grizzlies' games. Let that sink in. Less than half. This wasn't some aging veteran pacing himself for the playoffs. This was supposed to be the franchise player in his prime. The 2023-2024 season was the ultimate gut punch. Morant didn't even get to start the season due to an NBA-issued suspension stemming from repeated off-court incidents, a suspension that many saw as a final warning shot from a league that had run out of patience. And just when he was expected to return and help turn things around for Memphis, disaster struck again. A shoulder injury, serious enough to sideline him for the entire remainder of the season.
Memphis Grizzlies' Ja Morant will miss the rest of the season with a torn labrum. There was also a consistent statement that I saw flying around that this torn labrum was due to instability in the shoulder. So in this video, I'm going to show you as a trainer what I would do to prevent further.
Morant's troubles went beyond basketball. His performance on the court noticeably dropped. In just 3 years, he played in fewer than half of the Grizzlies' games. The 2023-2024 season started with him missing time due to a suspension, and then a shoulder injury kept him out for the rest of the season. The team implosion, it's not surprising that the Grizzlies' decline reflects Morant's own struggles. When your key player is absent, unfocused, and not stepping up as a leader, everything falls apart. Dillon Brooks ended up taking the blame. Desmond Bane had a tough time creating opportunities without Ja. Jaren Jackson Jr. made an effort, but he isn't the go-to scorer. What used to be the most exciting young team in the league has turned into a disaster. There have been trades, drama, and a toxic atmosphere in the locker room. And Morant, instead of being the stabilizing force, he contributed to the turmoil. Local president. He never took ownership, never publicly admitted fault. Even in interviews post-suspension, his apologies felt rehearsed. There was no spark, no hunger, no change. The image crashes. It's one thing to see your stats drop, but losing the public support is a whole different ballgame. Ja Morant used to be a fan favorite, but now, he's become a meme, a warning sign and a constant reminder of what could have been. The NBA has clearly pulled away from him. No more national ads, fewer games in prime time. Instead of seeing him on promotional banners, you'll find him featured in top 10 downfalls videos on YouTube. As for the fans, they're divided. Some still have faith in his skills, and let's be clear, those skills are still there. Ja can easily put up 30 points and 10 assists on any given night, but his image, it's taken a serious hit. Comparisons and lost potential. Remember, when everyone thought he was the next Derrick Rose, or the reincarnation of Allen Iverson. Fast forward to now, and he's being compared to Steve Francis, a player who had a strong start but burned out quickly due to partying. Ouch. And it gets worse when you look at his contemporaries. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, and Luka Doncic were all drafted around the same time and are currently at the top of their game, winning consistently. Meanwhile, Morant is dealing with suspensions, injuries and off-court drama.
Finding opportunities with his movement, his activity levels. John Henson.
And then length and a good basketball IQ as well. Gilgeous-Alexander with a screen from Adams, plenty of time. Rainbow three is through.
He should be a perennial All-NBA player, a playoff killer, a franchise icon. Instead, he's trending in the wrong direction. Where does it end? Here's the unsettling truth. Ja Morant is just 25 years old. On the surface, that suggests immense potential, prime years ahead, and a future Hall of Famer in the making. However, the NBA doesn't tolerate squandered potential. This league operates at lightning speed, quicker than a highlight dunk or a last-second three-pointer. When a player starts making headlines for off-court issues rather than game-winning plays, the league, the media, and fans begin to lose interest. With so many young, ambitious and drama-free stars emerging, like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in Oklahoma City and Tyrese Halliburton in Indiana, how long can a team afford to wait for someone who may or may not grow up? Ja isn't just racing against time, he's also battling the perception that he's becoming more of a liability than a benefit. There are already murmurs evolving into serious discussions in front offices and fan circles. Should Memphis cut their losses, trade him while he still holds value, look for a new face to lead the franchise? These aren't the kinds of questions asked about generational talents. Unless that talent has stalled and started to unravel, the pressing question for Memphis right now isn't can Ja still be great, it's he still worth the trouble. And when a superstar's worth is being gauged by the headaches they bring, that's often a sign of trouble ahead.
Yes, because he was just talking outside and he was just telling me that he could use Chris Middleton in the game, because I said it's hard to use players that aren't that athletic in 2K because you kind of just get boxed up. You can't really.
And honestly, those are valid questions. The sad truth, Ja Morant isn't a failure, he's not done for. But right now, he's in serious trouble. This isn't just about one bad season or a few missed games. It's about a pattern, a trajectory that's veering dangerously off course. He had everything in his corner: the jaw-dropping talent, a fan base that adored him, a franchise that invested everything into building around him, and a league ready to hand him the keys to the future. For a moment, he wasn't just the face of the Memphis Grizzlies, he was being groomed to be one of the faces of the entire NBA. He had his own signature shoe, his jersey flew off store shelves, and his highlight reels dominated social media. He was electric, magnetic, unmissable. But instead of building a dynasty, he lit the fuse. It wasn't just one misstep. It was a string of choices that slowly chipped away at the foundation he had built. Suspensions, off-court controversies, questionable decisions, and an overall lack of reliability. He didn't just stumble, he kept tripping over the same problems. The most frustrating part: this was avoidable. This was preventable. If he had surrounded himself with better influences, leaned into his leadership role, and stayed focused on the game, we might be talking about Morant as a perennial MVP candidate right now. Can he bounce back? Absolutely. He's young, he's gifted, and there's still time. But that comeback won't just happen because he's talented. It has to start with accountability, with Ja looking in the mirror and realizing he is the common denominator in all of this. The league doesn't wait around forever. His teammates won't wait around forever. The fans won't wait around forever. The window to greatness is closing faster than he probably realizes. He has to show up, every night, every practice, every press conference, like a man on a mission, not just for his team, but for himself. Because the truth is, Ja Morant isn't doing well in the West, he's not dominating, he's fading, and if he doesn't change his course now, he's not just risking another disappointing season, he's risking the collapse of an entire legacy. The kid who once seemed destined to be the next NBA icon might go down as the biggest what could have been of his generation, and that would be a tragedy. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Can Ja Morant redeem himself, or is this the end of the road for Memphis's fallen star? We'll see you in the next one.